Welcome back to Yorkshire Toffees. In today's video, I give my reaction to the York City signing of the 22-year-old Frankie Maguire from Boston United. I know, of course, it was announced a couple of weeks ago. I've just been I think 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I've been quite busy, so I haven't really had time to actually do a video on this. But I think it's an exciting signing for the Minster men. Of course, he's coming off a season where he scored seven goals and got 9 assists last season for Boston United. So of course he was playing under former Minster men, playing with former Minster men Lionel John Lewis. So that was, of course, been probably a big part of why he's come to the Minster men, because of course knowing of course John Lewis, and of course knowing playing against us last season for Boston would have been interesting for him. And of course now he's of course joining Minster men. It'll be interesting to see how Stuart Maynard plays him in his team. It'll be interesting to see if he switches anyone out or where exactly he plays, because of course we know that Frankie is a midfielder, so it's going to be interesting to see who you'll partner up with in the midfield, because of course we've got the likes of we've got some very good midfielders in the team at the minute for of course York. But I think the reason why we have brought Frankie Maguire in is because, of course, just to give us that extra push into build, of course, the team up and get more people into the squad before of course the season starts. And of course, since it's going to be a bit of a tougher season, since of course we're going into League 2, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does for us. Of course, seeing him play, you can see he is quite an attacking midfielder, I'd say, from what I've seen. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting signing. It will be interesting to see how he does in pre-season, because of course we've got Pickering, Barnsley, Sunderland, and then I think got a couple more as well. And then of course we've got the EFL Cup game, pre-EFL Cup, preliminary round for the EFL Cup against. Yeah, like I say, got that game against in the preliminary round for the EFL Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see how many of those games that Frankie gets picked for. Of course, he'll be pushing for starting places. Of course, the team will be back for pre-season in just under a month's time. So it'll be interesting. From what I've heard, he's ready to get going. Of course, ready to get going and just start kicking. He's looking forward to. He's ready to get going. From what I've heard in his interview that he did for the club, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does for the Minster next season. I'm predicting it's going to be a good. I'm saying it's going to be a good signing because, of course, he's got the experience. Well, I won't say, I'm not really sure he's got the experience of playing in League 2, but he's got the experience of playing in tough conditions, in tough games, because I've got with them Boston, with how well they've been doing recently. So it's gonna be an interesting signing. But of course, if there's any more transfer news, I will be reporting on it, and of course giving my reaction to it. Of course, we have just brought Deepo Akiemi back to the club again, so I'll be doing a video on that maybe either later on today or tomorrow, I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's gonna be if any more transfers come in for the club, I will of course be doing my reaction video to it. So if you like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing, and follow the channel on Instagram. I'll catch you in the next video. Come on, York!